The semi-factory in Nevada is moving ahead at crazy speed. It is going gangbusters, and if you see a hyperbolic title for this video or a hyperbolic thumbnail, rest assured we're gonna deliver on it because it's just that exciting, which is why I've got Mark here. He's already laughing because he knows we're gonna bring it home.
All the way, all the way.
You know, we've got so much good stuff going on here, but I should mention that Mark is from the Tesla Life. They have a weekly podcast since forever, since YouTube still had training wheels, I believe. And of course, I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. It is that time of the week. We must. Zangler was off last week, and so we did not have new footage to share. He will be off. Possibly he's off for another week, but by next week we might have new footage to share. Things are going great. Look at all that structure in place.
What is that, Brian? Is that roof we're seeing?
That is roof you are seeing. It is of course, last time we looked, there was just a little bit of vertical steel, and now we'll skip back. Here's a better view for you. You can see it is the roof going on. And
they kind of lay it out a little bit weird. Like you've got all the spacing in between the roof pieces.
Yes, it's almost like they put the roof pieces up already intact as one solid piece like this. So this Mesmaster allows you to do the work on the ground, hoist it into place, and then just have fewer workers spending time on the roof. Fewer hours dedicated far above the ground in danger. So this is a good example of technology just making everyday life safer. And well, but this eliminates jobs. Guys, some jobs should be eliminated. Dangerous ones, let's work to eliminate those. We don't have to eliminate the workers. I'm not advocating for that. Let's not use this as a reason to cull the population. But if that's what you're all about, I mean, who am I to judge? The stamping pit, no, do not cull the herd. We are thin enough as it is. The stamping pit is looking great. It is moving along, of course. You can see a bunch of scaffolding inside. This will be closed off soon. You can see the exposed footings for the outside of this building. This is a great bit of isolation. Remind me, why is isolation such a good thing?
Because when you're stamping with high pressure, with the seismic boom of stamps that are going to happen in here, you don't want the foundations for the rest of the building to shake and crumble.
It's not that they would crumble, but just shaking and vibration, not a good thing, right?
That's right. The more that you vibrate a foundation, the more it's going to, develop little cracks here and there, and could be issues down the road.
For those new to the channel, they may not realize that I am laying a trap for a slide that's coming up in about 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5, because we're gonna discuss that.
Stay tuned, people.
Stay tuned and if you have questions, ask them. Ask the questions. We answer a lot of things just because there's a question mark at the end. Here you can see a little bit of the edge of the building. Get an idea what's going on there. But that's the real big news. You can see all the steel is on site, ready to go, and they're popping it up real quick. And that's really the update. Zangler did ask to, by the way, I've given this a thumbs up. Folks, you are free to give all of these a thumbs up, mine as well. He shared some just photographs that he had taken of just how beautiful Nevada can be. The high desert has its beauty. And I'm not doing it justice necessarily here, but that's a great shot.
Yep.
I mean, obviously you're next to a pile of dirt. Discount that from your photo. You wouldn't be there. And that is, the important thing we want to mention here for Giga iOS.
Exactly.
Which is, of course, Canon. Yeah.
The Canon? What do you mean Canon?
Yes. Well, it is my head Canon, which is also the device I use to photograph my head.
Okay.
And I assume when the revolution comes, how I will be taken out. But
that's true.
Either way is unfortunate. What does that mean, Mark? What does it mean?
It is time for the photo of the week. And boy, it's getting worse. It is getting worse.
It's not that it's a photo of the week, you guys. It's that we're answering questions from last week's liked video. I've given it a like. You can too. It's free. These are questions that were asked last week. We're going to answer some of them right now. Can I get that new car exhaust smell for my EV? So we weren't talking about the factory. We were talking about some of the silly things going on with manufacturers doing things like fake sounds and fake shifting and whatnot.
Why not? That would be a plus for some of these automakers. Maybe release a little bit of, I don't know, gasoline or diesel into a bucket that's inside the HVAC system. It can blow that right into the car.
I think it'd be great. It would be very easy. It could be like just a little like vaporizer
Yeah.
that just blows noxious, deadly fumes for people who want that.
Who find that nostalgic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mobileye claims to see through torrential rain better because they use shorter wavelength laser pulses than industry standards, but I am skeptical. It seems to me LiDAR is only really needed / useful when trying to confirm HD map details. Not true for autonomy in all environments. If seeing through really bad weather is the goal, how about we use the 90-year-old proven technology called radar? Now, do you know why Tesla got rid of radar and why it's not a commonly used thing?
I believe they got rid of it earlier because there was conflicts in what the radar would see and the other systems would see, and then the computer was having a hard time picking about what warnings it should actually heed and react to.
The Minority Report, which one do we listen to? So the problem with radar is the resolution, whereas your camera might be 1080p or, we're talking millions of megapixels. The resolution for a radar is 1. So that's low. That's low resolution. If it can just see something ahead of me is moving at this speed. Now you said, well, police are able to point their radar. Yes. So are you asking for a battery of very narrowly focused radar? There's a reason it's not used. It can see great through all weather. But again, the problem I've had with my car is not a lack of perception, but a lack of decision making.
Mm.
And for others, that may be different. But hey, who knows? Vision LiDAR debate reminds me a lot of Steve Jobs and the iPhone with the Flash versus HTML5. People said Jobs was just being cheap. BlackBerry used Flash. Android used Flash. What did Steve Jobs know? How dare he challenge Adobe? But they said Jobs was just stifling innovation. And now, of course, everyone uses HTML5. He said that that would work, and it did. It was fine.
There are people that see that there is improvements that could be made, either more efficient, either it's better financially, or combinations. But there are leaders out there that say, you know what? We don't need this other stuff. If we just do this, we will reap the benefits. And Jobs was one of those people.
Exactly true. All true. Let's pull this one up. Here in Canada, when is GM being removed from EV rebates because it's made in the evil empire?
That's a question for me, I bet.
I bet it is. So I do not have an answer to that one.
There are some serious talks going on in the Canadian government about EV rebates, who should be involved with them. And GM is not one of the ones that they're questioning at this point. Tesla is. Tesla has been removed from some Canadian EV rebates. So I'm not sure how that equates to being fair, but there is a backlash about Elon in Canada, as you probably saw from a previous video that Brian and I did, and that is affecting some of these EV rebates. But to this point, GM, Ford, Stellantis, Honda, the others, they're not being scrutinized the way Tesla is.
Well, I can't speak for anyone outside the big three, but the big three all have serious operations north of the border in Canada, making whole cars, in some cases, making drivetrain components, including engines and transmissions. So those companies are absolutely married to Canada in ways that Tesla isn't. And also their CEOs, while being maybe not the best people out there, aren't active in the administration that has levied these tariffs. So I, like you, I do not know the legality of singling out a specific company, but not.
I know that sometimes other companies have been singled out and they've sued the government and actually won in court because in some cases it's just not fair and it's
Mhm,
not something that may happen. It may not happen. It's a
mhm.
lot of things are up in the air at this point.
If it is an illegal act, I am confident Tesla would sue to make it right. And if it's not, here we are. Regarding vision, isn't Tesla adding a front bumper camera on Cybertruck and Model Y? 180 vision could help us see cross traffic.
It could, and it will. I believe. I think the front camera is coming to multiple vehicles. It's there now in some, and we've seen the camera introduced previously, and it's been taken away, and now it's starting to show up again. So I got to believe they're heading in that direction. I'm not sure why they headed there and started with it, headed in publicity photos, took it away. But I'm pretty confident that front cameras will arrive on all Tesla models in the future.
So we did see it. It is now on the Model Y, which is the best selling car in the world. It is now on the Cybertruck, the best selling electric truck that Tesla makes. And we had seen it briefly on the Model 3 just prior to release, and then it wasn't there on the new revision, the Highland update. So yeah, I do think it'll come. I do not think it is essential to actual driving. I think it is essential to getting in and out of parking spots. I think that I've seen the car hesitate when I just say start driving right now from park, and it'll say, oh, is there anything under my bumper? Is there a cat? Is there a cat or a kid in front of me or a pole? I don't know. So that would aid with that, but I don't know how critical it is. A very good question. Is Fratzonic an invention of Caleb Miller or Dodge? If your vehicle's going to make a noticeable sound, other ideas might include nature, animal voice for bird watchers, etc., and kids' go-karts having a variety of sounds of increasing volume. Yeah. So that's what we were talking about, is what the heck is Fratzonic? And it turns out, how does chambered exhaust work? In a bid to cater to muscle car enthusiasts hesitant about the transition, Dodge has unveiled its latest innovation, the Fratzonic chambered exhaust technology, which will uses a complex system of chambers and speakers, which will vibrate the entire car.
Mm.
Now, wait a minute, weren't we talking about vibration a little bit ago?
Shaking the foundations, Brian.
Yeah, because if there's one thing Stellantis products are known for, it's already not being super rattly after like 20 miles. So it is a patent that they have pending for a product that clearly everyone needs and wants. The only other question with question marks was our friend Jamie, who was commenting about in-game tokens. In-game tokens. I assume we're talking about. I think this is for a different video. I think that's one of the April Fool's videos about Tadiddle, who offered to purchase Tesla for $130 in cash and stock, plus stock. Don't forget the stock, and also an offering of in-game tokens, which apparently Tesla did not take him up on the offer. Why didn't they jump on that? Asking for an algorithm who I've known since kindergarten. It's an algorithm question. Thank you for leaving comments. It does help. Mark, you need to go get some bush, like Brian with his exotic lemon tree.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll have to. Since I've been rescued, I need to find some greenery, some shrubbery, please.
Yeah, it's we told viewers that once we got you back home safely, that we would work on upping your game, and over who knows, coming weeks and months, we may get a chance to do that. I did, of course, want to highlight this comment. Wanksy, love it, because we were talking about the person who spray paints, the old gentleman's tackle over potholes to get the city to fix them. So that's all great. Guys, do me a favor, head over to Mark's channel, see what he's up to. And, the other big thing is, of course, this channel doesn't survive on love and of affection. It also survives on dollars. I've been doing some bonus material, 5 to 7 a week, less when I'm on the road, more when I'm at home. All the paid supporters get it. And if you don't know if you like it or not, just go to patreon.com. You can sign up as a free user and you'll get a video every week or two. That's a bonus video, just to whet your appetite, just to get your feet damp.
That's right. Let you know what you're in store for.
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, I must confess, I only release them when I do well on my puzzles, because the last thing I'm going to do is show you one of the ones where I'm really tired and just bombing on the puzzles. I do not believe those are representative of the quality you can expect from my channel.
We just don't know what's AI anymore, Brian. And anything could be you doing it so successfully, and then
I did have a viewer message me on X, and I responded, and they said, "Wow, how do I know this isn't a bot?" And I said, "Bots are not this handsome." He said, no. I mean, like, how do I know this isn't your social media manager? And I said, that's cool. I don't have one of those, but I'm flattered. He's like, well, it doesn't matter. Just tell Brian I said this. I'm like, okay.
Brian's been told.
Brian has been told. Guys, leave a comment, would you? Ask us a question for next week. Everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear it from you clever robots on the flippity flop.